Hey everybody. Well, in my last video, I said that I probably won't be doing another moon landing video, but now I am back with another video about whether the moon landing was real or a hoax, and that's because I saw this picture, and I'm about to show you the clip of the video where that picture was and see what they say about it. First, I want to reiterate that I've been a big space travel enthusiast, like 35 years, and once I started hearing things about it being a hoax, then I became undecided, where I stayed for 20 years. I was undecided until last week, and I made a video about that and how I changed after 20 years. And that's not a hoax. You really just saw somebody change their mind and become decided after 20 years. And it's because of all the footage that I've been watching on TV. I've shown so much over the last 6 years here on this channel. And now this week I'm showing that I'm a person who can evolve in my thinking. A lot of people cannot. You may have noticed this. You know, you can try to give people information, but they just will not change for some reason. I think it comes down to bias. People just want to believe or not believe certain things. And I think that most people would say that this picture is the best proof that it's a hoax. And when I saw it, yeah, this is the kind of thing that had me undecided. I had to stop for a while and think, how could that picture be? I said in my last video that every theory can be explained, but I cannot explain this picture. But with my high intelligence and just storehouse of information, again, something hit me. Okay, we're going to take a look at the video from Vice News, the conspiracy theorists who don't think we went to the moon. 20-second clip here, and I see that I've gotten another response from someone who's arguing with me. Can't seem to get through to him. Hopefully this video will make him rethink. Here we go.
These F-1 engines were not capable of performing the way NASA claims.
What makes him say that? How does he know that?
My belief is, and my actual belief, and actually
All right there. This is a conspiracy theorist. He's talking about beliefs. And that's mostly what they're talking about. There's times when they might sound convincing. We know how that works here in the diet world. You know, Bart, senior scientist, he sounds very convincing. But he's crazy. Yeah. He's a crazy genius, as a matter of fact. He's like he's very good at tricking people.
my belief is, and my actual belief, and actually I think this is fact, is that the Apollo Saturn rocket ended up in the Atlantic Ocean after it launched.
Now see, this is a good one here. This is a good example of a half-truth. Again, we know about half-truths in the diet world. He said the rocket ended up in the ocean. This is a great half-truth because it's half true. Half the rocket, actually half the rocket, did end up in the Pacific Ocean. The boosters. But man, you can see stuff that's in orbit. I don't know if people realize this. You can see a lot of satellites circling the Earth at predicted times. I see the International Space Station go by. It happens around the same time every night, too. And I once saw the Space Shuttle Discovery go right overhead back in the 90s. And while pointing a telescope at the sun, with a filter, of course, I once saw a satellite cross the surface of the sun. This is super rare. It's like a fluke thing that would happen. And I saw the shape that satellites have, a rectangular shape. Very small, but definitely a rectangle. So getting back to this video, see here on my channel, I teach people how to think more critically, more open-minded, more logically.
There were 5,770 photographs taken on the lunar surface.
The only proof you need to prove that the moon landings are fake is that one picture where an astronaut shadow is at 12 o'clock and a shadow from a rock 5 feet away is going at 9 o'clock. That's impossible to happen in sunlight.
The camera was being used in a studio here on Earth under controlled conditions, taking PR images were used by NASA to promote their program. It's a brilliantly executed propaganda exercise.
No, it wasn't. If this was fake, they did a poor job. So that guy says, that's impossible to happen in sunlight, in a real, natural environment. And I paused here and I thought, how do you explain that picture? I couldn't do it for a few seconds. Then my brain went to work. Yeah, it is impossible. In a natural setting with one main light source, the sun, and then a lot of ambient light from the moon, but we're seeing definite shadows here. Well, the thing is, what we're seeing in the picture is not a natural picture in the natural sunlight, like he says. What we're seeing, we're not on the moon seeing it. We're looking at a picture. Have any of you figured it out yet? The picture has been altered. Take a look. First of all, it's quite clear the picture has been altered. Now here's a shadow that's going straight out, down here. Over here, the shadow is going a different direction. Now, first thing to note, that bald guy said that it's going at a 90-degree angle. That's actually not exactly 90 degrees. It's going almost 90. And on the note of angles, see this one, you can also see it's more like 60 degrees. And this one here is only like 45 degrees. And this one is not even that. See, as you go further out and up, the angle becomes greater progressively. See, that's a hint of what's going on here. Another thing is that if you look at the other side of the picture, you see the same thing in reverse. Here you got a shadow that's just a little off, and as you go up, it becomes progressively a steeper angle. That tells you the picture has been altered. I can make an educated guess here from all my experience with video making, with picture and meme making, and also my understanding of optics and telescopes and photography cameras, that this picture was taken with a fisheye lens. It was really curved, so you get a really wide angle. So wide that, it's like anamorphic. Yes, yes. See, I know my stuff. Only much more than in movie theaters. But to put that picture into like a magazine, it would just be way too wide. So what they do is they condense it down. As you can see here, see, the picture's been squeezed together. This, what you're seeing here, is actually not there in real life. See, like that guy was talking about. If we were standing there with that astronaut, we wouldn't see reality that way that it's in the picture. This rock is actually way over, let's say like 60, 70 degrees over. I was thinking that I would need some kind of animation to show this, and that would be helpful, yeah. But then I realized, it hit me, that I can demonstrate this with a piece of paper. Here I drew the way it would have looked in real life if they were on the moon. Got the shadow, the person. Then you got two rocks here with the shadows all going in the same direction. But actually it's even wider. And so what they did with the picture is they squeezed it together, which would give this effect. And now look at how the shadows seem to change in direction. One shadow going that way and one shadow coming this way, just like in the picture. Another way of demonstrating this, I now drew a picture of how the picture looks. Now take the idea that the picture is just really wide, so it's actually surrounding the person who's holding the camera. And so you'd have to curve this picture and curve it around yourself to the point where you would have to turn your head to view that other rock. And then what you notice is that shadow is now pointing, or now appears to be pointing, in the same direction as the person's shadow. And I'll do the same thing with the other rock, and it's going in the same direction. That is, the same absolute direction if we were actually there in person in 3 dimensions. But looking at a picture as we turn our head, we are changing direction. But if you think in 3 dimensions being there, you see that the shadow is consistently going into one place out ahead of us on the lunar landscape. The picture's simply been squeezed together. More accurately, this picture was taken with a curved lens, a fisheye lens, that basically makes a picture that is curved. So when you flatten out the picture, everything bends. It's like a flat map of the Earth. Oh, let's not get started on that. Like I say, there seems to be an explanation for every theory, everything that we don't understand. I was thinking of saying, I know my picture manipulation. Here I am in a program designed to do that. And then I was gonna click adjustments, and you get all this stuff, the pictures and adjustments. And then I went over here, distort. I've hardly used any of this stuff. So I found something that comes close to what I'm talking about. Polar inversion. Let's see. You can bend it. And notice that shadow of the rock changed direction. And that's sort of what I'm talking about right there.
It's that one picture where an astronaut's shadow is at 12 o'clock and a shadow from a rock 5 feet away is going at 9 o'clock. That's impossible to happen in sunlight.
So to reiterate here, we're seeing a picture. We're not seeing as real life is. Yeah, people need to remember when they're watching a screen or looking at a picture, especially the internet, that it's not exactly like real life. And it can be altered and manipulated, and it often is, especially on YouTube.
It's the only time in history where the technological accomplishment cannot be repeated by any nation on Earth 50 years later. To me, that proves that it's a fraud to begin with.
No, it doesn't.
It's like saying Orville and Wilbur Wright in 1903 flew the first heavy-than-air machine, and nobody did it again for 50 years.
Are you stupid? Those are 2 very different things. That's like comparing apples and beef. Going to the moon was a huge undertaking, having dozens of areas where a lot of work has to happen, and then it all has to be put together. On the other hand, building something that can simply fly through the air right here is just a simple task. It doesn't take years of preparation and work and thousands of people working together or billions of dollars. Post a comment below and check out my other videos about conspiracies, hoaxes, shills, and what have you. I've covered a lot of ground over the last 6 years, exposing all sorts of stuff, like the Olympics, some stuff on vaccines, 9/11. Now with that one, there are some glaring inconsistencies, and our government has never done a proper investigation on 9/11. Think about that. They don't want to know the truth about sugar, protein, a lot of myths out there. Oh, myths. Oh, my God. And years before Victoza, Invocana, or whatever, all the names they go by, long before that hit the news with a bunch of lawsuits, I was criticizing that diabetes medication. And I've debunked a lot of YouTubers like Onision, Tana, Mojo, Boogie, Trisha. Thanks for watching. Rate this video thumbs up or thumbs down. And I would appreciate if people shared this video around, because I don't have a big audience, many people to share it. And so this stuff doesn't get out there. And that's the only way it's going to get out there. The truth is out there, but it's too far out. And people can't find it.